Welcome back to another episode of Podcast and Chill. We're so excited to have you here on the Learn English podcast channel. Last time, we talked about ways to improve your memory, and it seems like you all loved it.
Yes, and we received so many comments from you about how helpful it was. Memory is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to training your brain.
That's true. Keeping your brain sharp is as important as keeping your body fit.
So, that brings us to today's topic: how to train your brain.
We'll discuss some simple but effective ways to boost your brain power and keep your mind active.
Plus, we'll share some fun techniques and tips to make brain training enjoyable.
Don't forget, there's a free PDF with key takeaways from today's episode, so make sure to download it.
All right, let's dive in and get started.
All right, Gwen, let's get into it. Why is brain training so important?
Well, think of it this way. We train our bodies to stay healthy, so why not our brains?
That's a great point. A strong brain helps with memory, problem solving, and staying focused, especially when learning English.
Exactly. I read a study from Harvard that showed activities like learning a new skill can improve brain function and even delay aging.
Learning new skills? Like what?
It could be anything. Learning to play the guitar, trying out a new recipe, or even picking up a language like English.
I've been trying to learn how to juggle. Does that count?
It does. Juggling improves hand-eye coordination and concentration.
So, learning something new keeps the brain active and sharp. What about memory exercises?
Memory exercises are great. For example, try memorizing a list of words or using the memory palace technique.
Memory Palace? Sounds like a place I'd love to visit.
It's not a real palace, Leo. It's a method where you visualize a place and store pieces of information in different rooms to recall them later.
That's so cool. I'm going to try it with my grocery list.
Another fun exercise is using rhymes or songs to remember things. For example, think about how kids learn the alphabet with the ABC song. That melody sticks in your mind, and you remember it for years. You can apply the same idea to learning English words or phrases. For instance, you could create a simple tune to help remember irregular verbs like go, went, gone, or see, saw, seen.
Oh, and don't forget about listening to songs in English. Songs are a great way to learn because they combine words with rhythm and emotion.
Exactly. For example, singing along to Let It Be by the Beatles can help you practice simple phrases and pronunciation. Plus, when you sing a song you like, you're more likely to remember the words.
That's true. I used to sing We Will Rock You by Queen all the time, and now I'll never forget the phrase, You got mud on your face.
Another example is rhymes. You can use rhyming phrases to memorize tricky things, like prepositions. For instance, on the table, not in the air; under the chair, but not over there.
That's brilliant. It's like turning studying into a game.
And it works for people of all ages, not just kids. So whether you're creating your own tunes or borrowing from your favorite songs, music and rhymes make learning more fun and effective. And don't forget about learning through association.
You mean like connecting a word to an image or story?
Yes. For instance, if you're learning the word tree, picture a tree in your mind or think of a memory involving a tree.
That's a powerful way to remember vocabulary. Speaking of memory, I heard exercise can boost brain function too.
Absolutely. A quick walk or even yoga can increase blood flow to your brain, helping you think more clearly. Did you know that research from Harvard Medical School shows that physical activity boosts the production of chemicals in the brain that improve memory? Yes, simple activities like yoga or a brisk walk can increase blood flow to the brain. This improves your focus and helps you think more clearly. For instance, I read that just 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day can enhance the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory, the hippocampus.
That's amazing. I guess exercise isn't just about looking fit. It's about feeling sharp too.
Absolutely. Physical movement helps the brain release endorphins, which reduce stress and improve overall mood.
So the next time you feel stuck or tired while studying, try a quick stretch or a short walk.
Not only will you feel refreshed, but you'll also remember what you've learned more effectively.
Wow, so training your brain isn't just about puzzles or studying, it's about keeping your whole lifestyle active and healthy.
Exactly. And with consistent practice, you'll see results not only in learning English, but in your everyday life.
Let's look at 5 helpful phrases from today's discussion. 1. Brain boost, an activity that improves the performance of your brain. Example, meditation is a great brain boost because it helps you focus better.
2. Memory hack, a trick or method to remember things more easily. Example, using rhymes is a classic memory hack for learning new words.
3. Keep your mind sharp, to stay mentally alert and focused. Example, playing chess is a fun way to keep your mind sharp.
4. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change by learning new things. Example, learning a new instrument can enhance neuroplasticity and make your brain more adaptable.
5. Daily challenge, a small task you do each day to improve your skills or brain power. Example, a daily challenge like solving a crossword puzzle can keep your brain active. Let's discuss some of these ideas together. Why do you think physical exercise is often called a brain boost, Gwen?
I think it's because exercise doesn't just help the body, it helps the brain too.
Exactly. When we move, the blood flow to our brain increases, which helps us think more clearly.
And it also improves memory, right?
Right. I've noticed after a good walk, I can focus better on my work. Have you ever felt that way?
Absolutely. It's like a mental reset button. Now, here's another question. How can a daily challenge, like learning a new word, help improve your memory over time?
That's an easy one. Repeating something every day strengthens the brain's neural connections.
You're saying it's like building a stronger bridge in your mind?
Exactly. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes to remember new things.
That's a great way to put it. So, what's one small daily challenge you'd recommend to our listeners, Leo?
I'd say start with learning one new word a day and using it in a sentence. It's simple but so effective.
That sounds like a fun and easy challenge.
Let's dive deeper into some habits that can truly train your brain. One fascinating aspect of brain training is how creativity can be a game changer.
Creativity? That's interesting. Tell me more.
I read about this study from Stanford that shows drawing or journaling helps activate different parts of the brain.
That makes sense. It's like giving your brain a fun challenge, right?
Exactly. Plus, it's super relaxing, which is great for reducing stress.
Another thing is social interactions. Did you know talking to others stimulates the brain?
That's true. Even casual chats can improve memory and problem-solving skills.
Exactly. So, calling a friend or joining a group activity isn't just fun, it's brain training.
Let's also talk about humor. Laughing is one of the best ways to keep your brain engaged.
Laughing? Now you're just trying to promote your jokes, aren't you?
Well, yes, but science backs me up. Research shows laughter boosts endorphins, which help your brain focus and stay positive.
All right, I'll give you that one. Laughter really is a great tool for brain health. Here's something fun. Studies show people who regularly engage in hobbies are more likely to stay mentally sharp as they age.
That's a great reason to pick up painting or even gardening, right?
Absolutely. And you don't have to be perfect at it. Just enjoy the process.
So, what hobby would you start to train your brain?
Let us know in the comments.
Speaking of hobbies, Gwen, did you know that playing a musical instrument can actually change the structure of your brain?
Really? That sounds fascinating. What's the science behind it?
Well, I read a study from Harvard that shows musicians have more gray matter in certain parts of their brain.
Gray matter? That's the part of the brain responsible for things like memory and muscle control, right?
Exactly. So, Even practicing for 10 to 15 minutes a day can strengthen those areas.
That's such a simple and effective way to train your brain.
And not just instruments. Did you know that learning a new language can delay cognitive decline as you age?
I've heard about that. The University of Edinburgh did a study showing bilingual people have better memory and multitasking skills.
Exactly. It's like giving your brain a workout every time you switch between languages.
Speaking of switching, multitasking is another way to keep your brain active, but only if done correctly.
What do you mean by correctly?
I mean focusing on related tasks. For example, while listening to a podcast, try summarizing it aloud. It's like engaging multiple parts of your brain at once.
That's smart. I might try that with this podcast, summarizing it for myself after we finish.
Another important point is rest. The brain needs downtime to process and store information.
Absolutely. That's why sleep is so crucial for memory and focus.
Did you know a study by the National Sleep Foundation found that people who sleep 7 to 9 hours perform better on cognitive tasks?
I can totally see that. Whenever I get less than 6 hours of sleep, my brain feels like it's running on empty.
It's like trying to drive a car with no fuel.
So, for those listening, make sure to prioritize rest as part of your brain training routine.
Great advice. And remember, small steps, like picking up a hobby or getting enough sleep, can lead to big changes over time.
Let's go over 7 helpful phrases we use today. 1. Gray matter. The part of the brain that handles memory, muscle control, and decision-making. Example, playing chess can increase the gray matter in your brain.
2. Cognitive decline, the process of losing mental abilities as you age. Example, learning a new language can help delay cognitive decline.
3. Multitasking, doing multiple things at the same time, but focusing on related tasks for better results. Example, listening to a podcast while summarizing it aloud improves your brain's activity.
4. Engage, to actively participate or involve yourself in an activity. Example, to keep your brain sharp, engage in mind-challenging games like Sudoku.
5. Bilingual, being able to speak 2 languages fluently. Example, bilingual people tend to have better problem-solving skills.
6. Alternate, to switch between 2 or more things regularly. Example, alternating between writing with your left and right hand can train your brain in unique ways.
7. Stimulate, to encourage or trigger activity in the brain. Example, solving puzzles stimulates creative thinking. Now, let's reflect on 2 questions for today's discussion.
Question 1. What are some simple ways to train your brain based on today's discussion?
Let's see. I think learning a new language is a great start, like English.
Absolutely. It's not just useful, but it also pushes your brain to work in new ways.
And don't forget about mind games like Sudoku or chess. They're like a workout for your brain.
Oh, I love Sudoku. It really makes you think differently. Do you play any of these, Leo?
I try, but honestly, I'm better at summarizing things like a podcast episode. That's my go-to brain exercise.
That's a great idea. Summarizing helps with memory and organizing thoughts. Question 2. How can physical exercise help your brain?
Oh, I read that even a simple walk can boost blood flow to your brain.
Yes, and yoga is another great option. It helps release hormones that improve memory and focus.
That's true. After a quick walk or stretch, I always feel refreshed and ready to tackle new ideas.
Me too. It's a great reminder that taking care of your body really supports your brain.
What about you, listeners? Do you have a favorite way to train your brain?
Let us know in the comments below.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Podcast and Chill.
We hope you found our discussion on brain training helpful and inspiring.
Remember, whether it's learning a new skill, playing a mind game, or just taking a short walk, every little effort counts.
And don't forget to check out the free PDF we've included in the description. It's packed with tips and vocabulary from today.
If you have any thoughts or ideas about today's topic, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for spending your time with us.
See you next time on Podcast and Chill.